Hello and welcome to a video that I've been meaning to get around to making for a while. A lot of people seem to have some troubles with base crawling in this game, Fortress Battalion. And so I wanted to make a video to show how to base crawl on all of the 1v1 maps, all the ranked maps. I won't be looking at the other maps. I've barely played the other maps. I might make one for them later. But I'm going to try, once again, I record these videos as one big full take, so I apologise if I waffle on. And I'm going to put timestamps in the description for each map, so you can skip to the map that you want to know. But basically, I'm just going to go through each map one by one, start a game versus a beginner AI, because I don't want them to mess with me. And I'm just going to go. Obviously, this can apply to all of your builds. And obviously just change whatever you've got. Like, I'm going to be building light factories, you might want to build a barracks instead, or you might want to tech earlier. Like, these are just general paths for sort of what is considered like the good build right now. So you could just keep this here. Personally, I hate doing that because it's so long, so I will normally make another one closer if it lets me. Game still has some building problems. I can normally place it closer than that. I don't know why it does this. This also has the advantage of giving you an extra worker. I'll send this worker down here and I'll sell that. It's actually like not as bad as it looks like to do. There's one map where you have to do it. But because the refineries coming with harvesters is actually quite a good discount, it actually ends up being quite decent. So now we place this one here again, if it will let me. It doesn't show you the range that it won't go. There's like a range it won't go close to these, and then sometimes it bugs out. But now we have two refineries that are nice and close, nice and efficient. Like I said, this one you don't have to delay with. You could just leave the awful really long one away. I'm not sure which is technically better. But now you get to the choice on this map. This map is one of the few maps where there is actually a choice that matters. There's basically two choices. You can go down here, which is the defensive route, or you could go down here, which I prefer, which is more of an aggressive sort of thing. So I'm going to move my guy along to make sure I have vision. So far enough, and I'll put a barracks down. So we have both of these. We have our two refineries, each with two workers. I don't know why one harvester's gone all the way up there. That's the sort of weird bug you get with them. They're not very smart. And now we're basically trying to get up to these two here as our next one. One of the reasons I'm going to do this is because this is the one I prefer to do, but another reason that I'm going to do this one is because it's the slightly more difficult one to do. Now, all this time as well, you can see, right, I'm making laser cars with armor, and I need to destroy some of these annoying doodads because they get in the way. And this whole time while I'm doing this, I need to build a factory up here. The factory can't always fit up here, which is annoying. If you get this far enough down, you can normally fit something there. So this is one of the few times where you have to use one of these to move. But I can be, you know, at the same time I can still be making a light vehicle factory, and look how much money I have, right? I could be making other stuff. At the same time I could be making, I'd normally make like turrets down here to protect from any run-bys. You know, I might want to put a couple turrets back here with these guys. Turret complete. So then, at this point, right, I obviously could have also just waited for the turret to get this down faster. But this goes up here on the road. This is as close as you can get it. For some reason, I just think the map design not being incredibly good. This area isn't large enough to have a refinery in. So you can't build a refinery there and have it nice and close to both of them. It sort of has to be on the road in this really awkward fashion. And then, you know, you have the choice. You can keep... I could build more production over here if I need it. I could go back and tech up right about now. Or I could just, like, straight up go for one of these over here. I mean, that one's a bit far away, but you could still do it when you're this late on. And then, obviously, If you go the other way, if I grab one of these laser cars just to show you, if you want to go the other way, then it's just nice and simple. You'd do this instead of that. Obviously, the actual buildings I'm doing don't matter too much. It's just about which one you'd like to do, which one comes next in your build. Then you go here, and then as your next building, you can make a refinery down here. So you have these 1, 2, and then you normally need a third up there and then a refinery. You can have 1, 2, and then you might even want to do a third and then a refinery closer to here, because there's another one that you can barely see that's hidden in there, which again, I have no idea why this is a thing, but then you could place that there. And this is sort of a more defensive layout because you have the sort of choke and the high ground to defend from attacks here, and then you could have most of your army situated up here. But I like moving this way because I can control this high ground in the middle. Right, once I've teched, I can get this real quick. And I would push towards here and start fighting over this area, and then just send infantry down there to take that if they've gone towards here. Because you can, you know, stop here and just, you know, turret around here on this high ground, and have this as your defensive area, and then go down to here afterwards. But anyway, yeah, that's this map. You sort of have your choices about where you go. But as you can see, apart from this one time, which like I said, you don't always need to do this turret here, you never needed to expand with turrets, right? This whole time, I had plenty of money to be putting turrets down here as defenses. I mean, it wouldn't be down here. Would have been here as defenses while I was pushing. So that's that map, Canyon something, whichever one the tournament was on. It's not a very good map. This map is an even worse map. I'm not a big fan of the map design in this game, unfortunately. But this one, it's not too bad. It doesn't have as many, like overall, I think this is worse because it's one of these maps that you see a lot in there where there's just two sides. You are either on the right or the left. You can't do any more splitting than right or left, or air can go in the middle. I know there's going to be hover stuff later, but for a few different reasons, I think hover stuff won't be very good. So this one, at least, you can start your refinery nice and close to these first sets of gold. This gold's here, which is absolutely ridiculous. This is useless. You should never bother expanding there. It's awful. It's just, I hate when they do this. Like this should just be there in another free. I don't know why it's not. So then I'm getting this here because I didn't build the extra power plant. I'm going to build a worker. This is the build I've been doing. As I've said, if you want to build more workers, whatever, you know, this is just how I've been doing it. So now it is important to mention, remember not to make the mistake of putting this here. You can place it back a bit, right, and it's fine. Or I normally place it just up here. Because they always come out the bottom, so if you put it too close to this corner, you will get them stuck. I'm pretty sure you can put it there and it's entirely safe. But I built it here anyway, so it's fine. And then once again, like, as we're pushing down here, we'll start making laser cars. Right, we could be making some turrets over here. And then we just, you know, we have the turrets defending this side, we have our units pushing this side. And then the next important thing is that as we're moving over here, we need to start getting some unit moving around here. Right, it can be a new laser car, it could be this guy, I could have sent this guy earlier. Because what we're going to do is hop this little bit of river to get down to defend, to harvest from this area. And might look a little bit sketchy hopping over there. Like you could obviously use a turret to jump over now, but I don't think you need to. You could just put another one of these here. Right, I'll even do a power, whatever. I don't think you need that, but
constructing.
Again, you might be able to like move these down and hop this over faster, but it's not super important. By how the game is going so far, building one barracks and 3 light vehicles before your 3rd refinery is entirely fine, right? I'm like building infantry and have built some turrets, and I'm only just at the edge of my money here. It's entirely fine. This comes up. Now I'm fine with money, right? And then from here, what I normally do, you might want to get another harvester down there, but you can now switch to building forwards. Right? You obviously, by this time, you might want to actually throw a tech building down like here or something. But you switch to building forward and you build up towards these 4. And the reason for that is that you obviously want to take half the map, basically. And the assumption is that if they're playing correctly as well, they will take this half of the map.
Barracks complete.
So you want to build towards these guys over here, because then you can just send infantry to capture this and throw a refinery on the low ground. And then this area is all yours. That area should be all his, and you just need to defend over this area, like fight for this area and that area. And that should be how this map goes, basically. So that's the second map. One's pretty simple. A lot of these maps, you don't really have a choice of where to go if you want to play optimally, because one way is just better than the others. This is another map like that. This map I'm sort of split on. It's a good start. Look at that. It's almost in full range, but it's a nice space between all 3 of them. It's, you know, quite good. This map also has a bit of the problem that it's, you know, just 2 sides, but it does have this middle bit. But the middle bit, like, you need to throw units there all the time, because enemies coming through the middle bit can just be so annoying and mess you up so badly. So, but for the sides, 3 resources here, a whole heap of resources here. So here is just, you know, entirely the best place to go, right? You're gonna go there.
Power plant complete.
So again, I'm gonna didn't hotkey that. Once again, you've got your first 2 refineries down, really nice and easy. And now you're just going to move over here to try and grab these. The only choice really is, do you go the back side or the front side? The back side obviously could arguably be slightly easier to defend because they need to go further to get to you. But if you and it doesn't really change much if you go around the front side. I think you get to this slightly faster. I'm still not sure on this map as well, because maps on this, the map is quite open, so you can often die pretty fast on this map. But I'm not sure what you do after taking this. Like, you might want to build up towards those 3 and then just capture this and build a refinery here. But it would probably also be okay to spread out to these. I'm not sure. I don't think I just haven't played enough on this map to really know that yet. But now, look, you can get to this first set really quickly. Look, I've only got 2 light vehicle factories there. I might not even make that if I was in an actual game. You know, I might make a 3rd light vehicle factory like here, and then make it back here, and then make another refinery here or something. You can see this map, you can incredibly easily get to these. And now, like I said, you have a choice to either keep spreading over here. You can spread up this way, which I think will probably be pretty dangerous. You want to just keep this as a line of defense. Like, I could be building turrets here, and I can have army sitting here as well to defend this. And then I have these 2 main points to defend, and if I want to push to a 3rd point, I'll capture this and start mining over here, because there's so much minerals here already that, you know, you can just build a couple of refineries around here and you've got quite a lot of mining already. So yeah, that's that map. That map's pretty simple. I'm going to call them all that map because I don't really know the things. This map is this map's alright. I think this is actually one of the better maps. One of the good. I use this map a lot for testing stuff because if I'm trying to just rush stuff, this is sort of the quickest map to rush. It also has a decent start. Yeah, I think this is one of the better maps, honestly. There's a lot of attack paths. Like, his base will be here. I can push up the front through this little choke. There's a second choke up here. I can go all the way around to this back choke, or all the way down to this choke. There's obviously the 2 waterways, but as I've said, I'm not sure how good they'll be. But, you know, each of them has mineral patches near them that they will want to be going to, so
Constructing.
you can do some really good harassment on this map, having, you know, some buggies down here, some buggies up there, some buggies there, and your army with artillery and stuff pushed up here. It can be pretty fun. I had a really good game versus Shocktopus here, who's one of the better players, one of the higher players on the ladder,
Constructing.
and you can see that on my YouTube channel if you want to watch that. So once again, we've got our same start, and we're at 2 bases. Obviously I would have built another one of these, but I forgot. And now, again, you sort of have 2 choices, although I think
Refinery complete.
it's a bit of a no-brainer. I think the no-brainer is that you build towards this front area, because chokes, so easy to defend. You can have these 2 chokes down, you can have this high ground between them to defend, and then you need to worry about your backups, but it's okay. And the good thing about this map as well is there's a lot of resources,
Light factory
like,
complete.
by your base. This map is not one where you need to move around lots or do much. So the next thing we can do is refine here. You see, this is another map where we only need 2 light vehicle factories to get to where we want. So, you know, I might not even want to expand yet, but we can.
Light
And
factory
then,
complete.
right, once we've done that, or maybe before we've done that, it might be a smarter idea to go here. This is the next route we're going to try and go, right? So I might make this so I have my free and then do my refinery. Like I said, it all depends on your build. You can change it depending on your build all the time. And then I got to this. This is why I think this is a really good map and a really easy map to learn the game on. Because you can get so easily
Light factory
to multiple different ones. Because this refinery will you know, work for all of these. You might want to build a refinery close to here. I don't think you can get one up there, annoyingly. I hate these ones as well. This rock should just be there. Like, it should just be a 3rd one there. It's so stupid it being up there, because you can't fit a refinery up there, so you just have to have this awful long-range mining. Ugh, don't like it. But anyway, enough about map gripes. You know, it's really easy to get into all these places, and then these ones I don't think you'll ever get. They're just too far away. But then once you've got all these 4, this will bring you to pretty much late game, and then your next task is to capture one of these, and then you can, one building there, your next building I think you can get on the low ground, and then you can refinery your refinery. So if you do get that far on this map, that's where you'd go, and then you'd only go to these ones in like super late game situations. I think these are awfully placed nodes, because they're just like, if there was like a 3rd one there and there was an outpost up here, then I'd understand it. But then I also think outposts should be more in the middle of the map and more about controlling areas and vision as well, so whatever. That's that map. So we have 2 maps left. We have Railtown. Railtown is another map that I do not like. Railtown actually has this really nice start you can do though.
constructing.
Because it has, like, actually I should have done it this side because he went that side. Because it has this, these 2 patches of 2, even though I hate patches of 2, they're so close to your base that you can actually get 4 harvesters on them real quick. Now, because they're only 2 patches of 2, having the 4 harvesters on these is going to be way worse
Refinery complete.
than having them on 2 patches of 3, because they'll run out way quicker.
Constructing.
But this map, the good thing about this map, as much as I was just saying it's bad because, you know, it's another one of those maps where it's just, there's the right side of the map and the left side of the map. And it's quite a big map, it's quite a long way around. You have to walk around the whole map to get to your enemy's base, unless you're flying or whatever. So, and these could be really cancer. These might be a place where hover actually makes sense.
Constructing.
But yeah, there's these 2 sides that take a long time to get there. So if you're pushed all around here to go fight around there, then they attack here. You know, it's a place where you really have to split your army and be really slow and methodical, and it's not awful, but there are problems with it.
Power plant complete.
So once again, there's these weird annoying mineral splits with 2 here and 1 there. No idea why. Awful idea. Don't like it. But so you build this closer to the 2, obviously, so you can start getting those first. And then you immediately start going to the one where the 2 are. So if you're on this side, you start going up to this here cliff. Because obviously,
Refinery complete. Constructing.
And this obviously has slowed me down because I've got 3 refineries now before anything else. But that's a huge amount of econ, and I've never lost games early on here because of it. And obviously, once again, you could very easily have built this just randomly before building this. Like, built this over here maybe, or even up here to be able to push over to there faster later or something. And then you can see these. That was probably a bad position. I want to put it as far as possible. Alright, so now these can be... start making laser buggies. And then it just needs one more building on this part and a refinery there. And then you can do the same thing, the exact same thing the other side. You'll need a building to go here instead of that, but then building, 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 and then refinery.
Light factory complete.
But this is one of the other things which is actually alright about this map. Or maybe the thing, is that you actually have choices after these 3. So like, I'm going up to this one because I think it's just the best thing, obviously, to go to. But if you spread out to this one, which is the next easiest thing to just hop, 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 hop over to, then sure, that's good.
Constructing.
But it's going to be hard to defend, right? Because here I can just defend this and just, you know, keep this side nice and held back and focus on defending this side. So one of the things you can actually do is, instead of going to here. Now I actually normally will get this, then go to this, and then do this. But you can hop like down here,
Constructing.
and then try and hop over here. I don't know if you could do it like one and then straight over there. I'm actually going to try that right now for the first time. Exciting stuff, I know. But you could definitely, like, you could make a turret there and then move one building down here and thing. That's what I normally do, because I normally will have a turret here anyway, because, you know, got to defend these harvesters. Will this work? Yes, it will work. Look.
Constructing.
Just see how easy it is to creep. Like, I've made nowhere near enough production in this game. Like, look, I've literally got, I think, these 2 light vehicle things. And without needing to make any of those, I mean, obviously, actually, I didn't need both of these. I don't know why I decided to build power plants there. I'm just not thinking about it because I don't need to. But then from here, you could capture that, or you could crawl to that. You now have this section. If you fight around here, if you're successfully holding this side of the map anyway, you could also just like move down this way. But yeah, if you change one of these, or maybe even both of these, for barracks and a light vehicle, even, I'm still way over on the amount of refineries I need for this stage of the game. And I heard people particularly complaining about this map for it. I think just because it's sort of like, there's so much stuff, it sort of seems confusing, but it's really, really easy to creep on this map, which is one of the good things, along with the choices that you get. So like I said, then you can just roll down this way, do the same that way. If you can half map it that way, it might be easier to sort of half map it this way to try and take this stuff, and then maybe even jump back to this stuff. But, you know, whatever. This map has its other problems, which makes it difficult, which is like defending from all these. Like, you obviously wouldn't expand this fast, you'd slow it down on purpose just to be safer, but yeah. So that's that map, and now we're on to the last map, Salamander Fortress, which is the worst map by far. It's just awful. There's this, it's again one of those just 2-side maps. It's again quite big, so it takes a long time to get anywhere. The resource placement just makes no sense. There's this middle area with these that just like you cannot get to. Like, it's just impossible. Like, I'm assuming that this can all break down, so all of this area is buildable, but still, like, apparently the idea was to have this outpost to like build something here, then to use a turret to hop across there, and then build your refinery here. But it's just like, it's such a hard place to get to defend. I don't know why you'd ever want to go there. And these patches are so big that I don't know why you'd want to go anywhere other than these. So this is another map where you have to do this. I normally do it faster, but I don't think that guy normally needs to get there. But this one you just have to, because that is way too long. The other one I said it was a choice. This one it's not a choice. This one, build a refinery, build another refinery, sell that refinery to get this, because that's just so inefficient if you're going to have it that far away. So then you move around here. And you're going to hop down to these. Now there is 4 here, which is kind of nice, although they're spread out in a really annoying way around the front of your base. I don't quite understand why.
Factory complete. Constructing.
And then once again, this is another map where it can be really easy to like have this ramp just defended and this area just have like some army here, some turrets here, some turrets back here. No, I might even like build a load of my army back here. And my army here. So I normally place this about in the middle, so it's as close to as many of them as possible. This is another tip which I probably should like state more exclusively in other things, but like doing something like this is really good. Having all of your rally points go to somewhere like here. So eventually, right, I'll build up a load of army, and all of that army will be defending here naturally. And if he comes to harass here, I come back to here and I'm like, yeah, I got a big old army, let's go defend. Pew 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 pew, fight them, easy. And then when I am with my forward army and I want more guys, I can just hop back here, grab most if not all of them, add them to the hotkey, and then move them up here. And what that does is it means you can keep adding to your army, but you can also always have some army back here defending, and obviously like I can also throw down turrets and stuff. A lot of people say that they like to use turrets to creep because it is faster to creep with turrets and cheaper, but if you're creeping up here with turrets, then there's going to be no turrets down here. Like, it's better to just put turrets and army here. So this is one of the other reasons why this map isn't great. These resources are weird. They're in big collections, and I kind of think that's interesting, considering how much I don't like how frugal they are with resources on other maps. The fact that they just went on this map, we're not going to be frugal on this map. We're going to give you just these big amounts, but like few near your base, but big amounts far away. It's kind of cool in a way. And you can see once again, I got my 3-in-1, how much I said that I like to have before I get my third refinery, and I can get a refinery here. And then what I would do is, you know, I might go and build a tech building back here, and I might, you know, build some other stuff. I might start building some turrets here. I will eventually build another one of these here, probably, because you're going to have a lot of people, like, when these 3 finish mining this, like, they're going to come here, and then you're going to have a load here. You'll want 2 of them if you have enough to harvest this. You also want a building on this side so that you can then hop down from this side down to here. And then 1 building, 2 building, 3 building, 4 building, you're on to the next bit, right? As soon as you've got to as soon as you've got to the first one, you no longer have any of these big amounts to jump, even though, like I said, 3 buildings between here, perfectly reasonable. Fits into most of your builds. The other thing that really I don't like about this map is that, obviously, if these were only accessible from one way, they'd be pretty broken. They'd be too easy to defend. But the fact that you have each of these has one of these, then if you like, if all of this is mined out and all of this is mined out, and you know 1 or 2 of these is starting to get mined out because you've had 1 or 2 of these there, you need to take this and this, and then you have 2 back channels to defend, you have the front area to defend, and you have the back of your base to defend. And it just, like, the fact that they're all chokes as well makes it more annoying. If this was really open without these mountains, I think it would be way better. Like, if this just didn't have a mountain here, if there was a ramp going up between here, and so this could all be like one thing, and then maybe this opened up to the back and there was only this divider and this divider at the back, and maybe this went over here, then that would be like way nicer. I don't know. I don't like how this is set out. But as you can see, it takes like 3 buildings between each section. You'd have half your army here and half your defenses here, you know. I'd grab these and I'd go like, oh yeah, come and defend, and then keep rallying these over here to defend. So yeah, that's the last map. Like I've been quite clear throughout this video, I'm not a big fan of the maps in this game. Torpid said he wants to work on making them all better, so hopefully we can see some improvements coming here. There's a couple where I suggested improvements that I think could make them better maps, but some of them need some quite big reworks. But anyway, I hope this has helped you be able to understand crawling on maps, because a lot of people seem to have big trouble, and I really don't think it needs to be a trouble. So yeah, hope this helped, and like, subscribe, watch my other videos, watch me on Twitch. Moody for the win at Twitch when I stream. Thank you very much.